Thank you very much. Sullivan Fortner. Sullivan Fortner. Matt Wilson. Steve Nelson. And my name is Oran Etkin. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out today. We're very grateful that you guys all chose to come here today and spend the evening with us. We're playing some music from a new album I have called What's New? Reimagining Benny Goodman. And it's essentially a love story. We're going to tell you guys a love story that starts off when I was a kid, and I fell in love with the music of Louis Armstrong. That's really what changed my life and made me want to explore music my whole life. And actually, my mom is here. Where's my mom? My mom is here today, and it's yeah. So she's the one to blame for that. So we're gonna continue with a tune that I heard Louis Armstrong do when I was a child, and that for me captures a lot of the spirit of being a child. This is a tune called "Runnin' Wild." Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was a tune called What's New? How has life been to you? Yeah. We're going to continue with another tune. Actually, speaking of my childhood and my mom, who's here, I moved here when I moved to the U.S. when I was 4 years old from Israel, and I grew up in Boston, where I got a chance to learn a lot of great things, a lot of great musicians there. And I remember learning when I was in 6th grade that the word idea does not have an R at the end of it. And we're going to play for you guys a tune that rhymes Dinah with Fina. Dinah, is there anyone Fina in the state of Carolina? So there's a tune called Dinah. Thank you very much. much. Thank you. The other part of this story is about Benny Goodman. And what we're celebrating today is some stuff that happened 80 years ago in 1935. And to paint a little bit of a picture of what was going on at the time, the whole nation was going through a very hard period, the Great Depression, a lot of economic hardship, a lot of social inequality. And to sing a song about that era, we're going to invite a very special guest up here, Nadia Washington. Everybody give a big hand to Nadia Washington. And we're going to sing a song for you guys called Why Don't You Do Right, Like Some Other Men Do.
You had plenty money in 1922. You let other women make a fool of you. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here and get me some money too. Now you're sitting here wondering what it's all about. You ain't got no money, they gon' kick you out. Why don't you do right like some other man? Get out of here, get me some money too. you in. All you offer is a cup of gin. Why don't you do right, baby, like some other man? Get out, go on, get me some. Get me some money too. Go on and get me some money. Don't you sit there and tell me you just gotta get on out there and get your money. I'm tired of hearing that little excuse that you do after and over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I've heard that before. Don't try to do those jokes. Don't try to make me laugh. It's over. I said it's over.
Unless you get me that money. Get me that money.
Nadia Washington. Yeah. Nadia Washington. All right. We're going to bring her back up in a minute. We're going to play a tune for you guys We're going to play a tune for you guys when Benny Goodman, in 1935, there's two things that Benny Goodman did that really inspire us to make our own music and to push the music forward. One thing is that in 1935, he was going on a cross-country tour from New York to all the way to the West Coast, and everywhere that he played, people didn't appreciate his music. They didn't see what he was doing, and it didn't go very well at all. He was playing music that had been, not popular throughout the whole U.S., coming out of New Orleans and spreading around. And popular in New York, but not the rest of the country. And he was playing arrangements by great Fletcher Henderson. And everywhere he went, they didn't like the music that was new at the time, so he had to play sweet music, which was music before. And then finally he got to L.A., and the band was very kind of disappointed from the whole tour, but they said, if this is our last gig, so we're going to play the music that we want to play. And they pulled out their arrangements, the Fletcher Henderson arrangements and all that, and the whole audience went nuts. They all went crazy. Everybody loved what they were doing, and they booked him there for 3 weeks. He went on then to Chicago, to the Congress Ballroom in Chicago, and played there for 3 months straight, and every night they were broadcasting it over the radio. And that moment really, August 21st, 1935, and the weeks that followed that was the moment that the whole nation fell in love with swing and with all these rhythms that had come out of African American culture in the U.S. and the sounds of the blues and all the sounds of the Jewish prayer and stuff that he put all into his clarinet. All that stuff that was kind of on the margin of society all of a sudden became in every single household, in every record player, and the for us, that's a moment in the midst of hardship when the whole nation came together around music and around dance and around something positive like that. And that's something that we take inspiration from. And we draw on the history and kind of understanding the history. And actually, when you look at it, Benny Goodman was drawing on the history as well, and he was trying to honor those people who came before him. And the tune we're going to play for you guys is a tune that Benny Goodman with his big band made really popular in 1935. Everybody was dancing to it. But actually, when you go back, this tune was written in 1905 by the great Jelly Roll Morton. Just to give you a sense of 1905, people started, the musicians started leaving in 1917 from New Orleans to go up to Chicago. So 1905, Louis Armstrong was 4 years old. The music was kind of, at the very beginnings and of what it would eventually become. So we're going to play for you guys a tune by Jelly Roll Morton called King Porter Stomp. Thank you. We'd like to bring back on stage Steve Nelson. As we give thanks. The other thing that Benny Goodman did in 1935 that really inspires us today is that he presented, shortly after he became known as the King of Swing and made the whole nation fall in love with this music, he presented it with its first mainstream popular music band that was racially integrated. And up until that point, it was a huge social taboo to perform with a racially integrated band, but he brought forth first the trio with Teddy Wilson and Gene Krupa, and then he added Vibes and added Lionel Hampton, and he broke the racial barrier years before Jackie Robinson did the same thing with baseball. So, yeah. And we take inspiration from that also to keep on working today to make sure that throughout the world, in every community, there are all kinds of voices, oftentimes from minority communities within each society, that are not allowed to come forth as much as they wish to. And what he did was really give everyone a voice and give them a chance to sing and share themselves. So we're going to play for you guys a tune that I wrote, which is called When Every Voice Shall Sing. Thank you very much.